Take care. Good evening. Oh, there it is. Good evening. Welcome to SG4 and the SMZ3 tournament of 2025. I'm Scupula. Diometheus is here tracking for me, and this chat and me, and that's it. So wherever you are, welcome. And today, as is the rest of this tournament, we're playing 7 crystals to get into Ganon. It's Tower, 7 crystals to defeat Ganon, and 4 Metroid boss defeats to kill Mother Brain. The credits for those can be anywhere. Any bosses, I should say. So that includes a pendants. It can be in Super Metroid as well. So we'll see what happens today. V2Nitro, hydrapower, both very good runners. Long-time SMZ3 players, especially hydrapower. V2Nitro plays a lot of SM. So off we go. Sometimes we might head down to the morph pedestal here, but not today. Today we're just going to go to Zelda and play around for a while. You see, looks like, I want to say that was a Metroid boss token on Eastern and crystals for the others. So with the boot start and the fact that we get dumped out at the Lake Fortune Teller shop, it's easy to just come in here and knock down Saha's wall for the 3. Green pennant we find out is on Kraid today, so there's one. Yeah, Kraid is nice and easy, it's in and out, so we'll probably see that done regardless. And not even just because it's a green pennant, but you got 3 items in there and they're pretty easy. So split here, we're going to see northwest from Hydra and the dam right away from V2Nitro, and this can be okay, because sometimes this can get left if you're waiting for a hook or a mirror to do it in one screen like I do. Crabs are dropping 20s, that's nice. We'll see. Imagine probably a couple of farms of those. But a 230 in that amount of time is pretty good. 230 rupees. Always good to check the the desert ledge. Every ledge except the right one that I'm trying to say. With boots, because it's easy to get over and back. Without them, it takes a while, so you think about it. But today, nothing we need. Couple more bombs here on the tier 3. It's helps to round things out here. Do Kakariko, might be able to go to the castle with them if we don't find a better weapon. Hey, visit the hydrapower here while we work out some tech stuff. Looks like it's a bilateral thing, so just a few minutes on that. V2 gonna go ahead and collect the richness here as hydropower did. North ball. Not sure how I feel, and it's like the first good thing we find, but it nonetheless something we need at some point, clearly. Space jump's nice. We can get around pretty well now. Once we decide to head that direction in the other game. Saying no to the missiles here. It's early, but just missiles we can get by. A good scout of the race game, so we do not need to be in there now. Alright, just gonna get that map and we'll head toward what V2 had already done. So they'll probably line up again and make another choice, whether that's head to the castle or the eastern direction. Castle's a little more attractive since we knocked out Saha already. I guess there's mini Moldorm and all that as well. I could do that. Hydra, I'm actually not sure how Hydra does this. You can choose not to isolate Agena. You can also do that and then just head to the right and expect to be back in the desert area later. That's what Hydra's going to do, is head right here. With 6 bombs, unless they're horrifically uncooperative, we should be alright here. Reading them is a good skill to have. Hydra, seeing that first one turn around pretty quick, picking up the bomb he dropped and getting it where it needs to be. So gravity here, which is going to give us some access to Meridia already. So see how fast we do that. Hydra picking up some errors, opting against checking a couple of water walk accessible things here for the moment. We might be headed, well, we'll just wait and see. I figured might have been the morph pedestal now, and well, I guess we can do a lot more than that. So having the morphin bombs gives you a choice of when to come here, and this isn't a bad time for it. Welcome into Night Curse with the raid SpeedGaming 4 SMZ3. It's Super Metroid. It's Link to the Past. And it's connected in 4 places as one game. And randomized. That's what we do here. Yeah, we got that audio hopefully acceptable here. It's a little behind, but knowing how the adjustment works, it's not simple to try and correct once that far, but I'd say at this point we are serviceable, so thank you very much, Jestro, for that. Metro figures he's gonna get all this and come back, so we will eyeball that morph pedestal later. Might even see the meme route here. Doesn't really apply the same way in SMZ3, but those who follow SM know what I mean. A few more power bombs, just now everything's free. For sure. I thought we had like 10 or 15 and we got 25. Some of these flipper checks from V2Nitro, nothing spectacular under the bridge. Looks like he's going to take the reset from here instead of walking back to the warp and go to the ship. This is a choice. I've talked about this before. This is pretty close time-wise if you're trying to get to like 230 missiles or whatever, but he may choose to go the other direction here. So just another little bit of divergence. Get to see more quicker. Morph pedestal, some supers. But I'm going to guess he's going to keep on going. For some reason you don't see green brain done this direction all that often. And as I sit here and think about it, it's really not that much of a difference. I mean, maybe there's... The only thing I can think of is there's more checks slightly on the other side, in which case if speed booster is one of them, now you're turning around. But, to get waterway, but it's okay. It's not super likely that that's in here. That's nice, half magic early. Gonna manipulate that super missile block he used to get out of Spore Spawn's area here, and just so we can not worry about that thing. Go through and get the item and leave. It's $50. Still need a few. We'll take it. The flute in Gauntlet. Also, another fancy item here in SMZ3 where not often required for a couple different reasons. But again, when it's early, especially, you save time and movement that way. Now on this route, hydrapower won't be able to get that stuff, but should be able to see it, so I imagine we'll more than likely go out of his way to get it after that. Okay, so I guess that's probably the bigger problem with right to left. Yeah, I've seen this before, so I apologize. I'm going to say it again. Why is a grapple there? You need it to get over. I try. Anyway, that's a logical access direct ship now. Well, I guess we already had it in a very roundabout way with the gravity suit, but maybe the extra pointer means something. We've got to redo this small chunk of the climb here again with the left or right. I guess maybe that's why I don't often do this. All told, it's a pretty small difference in the end here. We're going to get a high five real quick in this drop shaft. Or, well, no, maybe we won't. I mean, we kind of are, but they're going to just pass each other on parallel shafts. Another nice to have item, even if it does result in an extra check. But if we do get that, at least then we'll be able to loop it in with some other things. But nothing else here in the remainder of what, now that we've seen both sides of Green Bryn. We'll just wait for the runners to get out of here and make their next choice. V2 is like wanting either a little bit of health or potentially some supers, probably more the health. In case something goes oddly with the big side hopper in here. You know, I don't know, actually. It's 80 damage a pop with them, but I guess I'm not 100% sure in this rando if the gravity helps with that at all. It probably does. But play it for 5 years and don't know these things, you know. That's me. We're just gonna see his flute here. The old shield faceplant. It's okay. This we haven't seen, I don't think, because bottle there. Do we have a bottle? Diametheus? If not, that's a choice. Hydra does have one. Okay, yeah, it makes sense now. I've seen a handful of nice to have skips. Bottles aren't bad. You don't typically need them in this game, but If it was the first one, that's a check back in Kakariko, you know. To the flute goes hydrapower. Just have to walk back with it. V2Nitro having a little bit of fun with the shaft to try and, yes, they get up here. It's easy to hit that ceiling on the right. That little gap they give you so you can hit the crumble block on the way down. I don't know if they really, if you know, I know it's the Metroid game, but the quote unquote right way to do that, the way they wanted to expect you to do that, with it's the speed booster or what? Always so used to making sure we hit the crumble blocks right in the middle since we don't know what's down there. In this case we do. Hydra just had to go to the right, but it's a muscle memory thing, I'm sure. So flute and toe, probably, I'm going to say, I don't know. Let's see. Hold on. Is he going down? Yes. Straight back to Zelda. Get that turned on and find, guess a couple other things to do. Or if not, we'll reset and go to Workshop. I guess this is my fear right here. If I want to come back to Super Metroid after a Morph Ball, I like to take the warp and check this because, boy howdy, it was Speed Booster one time after I'd gone through Green Bryn already. You know? Get that bottle check done here. Should be interesting. It might not be, but oh, it is. Okay. Yeah, I thought for a second, I was like, well, you know what? Kid doesn't have that much of the time, but maybe I willed that one into existence. Oh, dead rocks, come on. We just want some health. And this is a good play here too, especially you got boots. Just come up here and check under Spec Rock and you can go to Norfair and you're done. Yep, don't care a lot about that. No, we're not going to Norfair. We could, but we're not. Not yet. He's going to unisolate Agina. As good a time to do it as any, and Flute makes it a very easy choice. So real clean getting out of the water there with the space jump hops from V2Nitro. Appreciate that. So Hydra's going to wreck ship now instead of the Norfair Business Center. I thought I might see that, in and out real quick, but Don't want to ignore all those access points. Space, gravity. Space especially making the top easy to wipe out as fast as it'll ever be, really. In the fan tune here for V2Nitro. Patterns aren't seeded. It's not easy, from what I understand, to do. So, we'll see what we get per runner here. Might come out of this a little closer than they are now. And then having input into what the patterns end up being by your movement. So Hydra's going to skip the wreck ship for now and check Red Tower out. Well, at least with this you can easily get X-ray along with it, so you won't leave that alone. It's just an outside possibility we might be going through here later. That said, the ability to get it all it makes it an okay choice. It may also give us further information later, well, Hydra rather, as to how much we want to do the top of wreck ship. And that decision will be coming shortly here for V2Nitro. Yeah, that's what I need some discipline to do, is just slow down there so you don't hit the waiver and have to repeat everything. I don't know why, I always think I can get around it, and it doesn't work that way, so good job, Hydra. And here, E-Tanks, a good pickup. Well, no, we have various, but yeah, I guess even with 4, it's a good pickup to make. What was that in the attic? I know it was something we picked it up. But... Oh, the moon. Oh, sword. Okay. Right. Oftentimes you come up here in a wreck ship attic, come away with nothing, sword, you know, especially your first one, it's makes it worth it even if the rest of this busts out. Grade was reading at some point, now hydrapower is. So we don't have access to anything we're super concerned about just yet. I guess we could walk in the desert. That might be a little while though. Yeah, the bowling skip is a choice, and I guess the other thing I just realized I now didn't pay attention to is whether the reserve location was scouted. No scout on that either, so it's, you know, like a lot of things in this combination randomizer end up being is a choice. It just is a matter of when it would be worth it to go back there if you're still looking for things late. So Craig's best items, this book, we'll see. So, well, so far anyway, green pennant is a turn-in that we can make, but these are all TBD things. We'll see later what they end up meaning. Just a quick check there for the prize on Ridley. It's just a regular old blue crystal. So we need it, but it's whenever. Having your door shot blocked by an energy tank. That's a new one for me. Yeah, this is where I'm going to do the speculate thing, and runners see this later and I'm wrong. Apologies, but when I played Super Metroid Randomizer, you are prone to skip missiles just because there's a lot more of them. So it could be a thing of, I mean, we have some more than the vanilla game, but the randomizers usually put like somewhere between 100 and 120 in a game. So I don't know if that's the reason or one of the reasons, but it's the best thought I got. Hydra in the hot room, V2 in the wet room. When we see the mirror actually collected, that will, if nothing else, immediately give access to Tower of Hera, one of the required dungeons for the day. As we see charge here, another nice to have early. You want a couple more beams to make that worth planning for. So we'll see where those are. The waiver, the little waiver that could, did pretty well, I'd say. You know, well, I'm sure I just missed it. V2's little jump there to save himself a power bomb or another jump or whatever it happens to be, that was pretty good. I do that in X-ray all the time. There's your speed booster. Okay, so got a couple things with that immediately, but just wanted to appreciate the move to get in here from going right to left. I don't think I've ever tried to do it with that short of a ceiling. So 300 here should wrap up hydrapower for money the rest of the seed. And if not, it'll be, you know, a couple 20s here and there at some point, but it should be enough now. It saves time, especially whenever it lags in this room the Hydra's now in, to go to the top entrance here, but without high jump, it's a little concerning not getting shot down on the way up. It gets through though. V2's gonna check the other pit here. Well, that or move on to Dragon and then come back for the pit, but no need for an E-tank in this one. Hydra looks like it's headed for Croc here. Will be in logic, although Hydra does not know that, and even if it was, it's not this direction, but it's just one of those things. If you're near Croc, might as well. Dave here, just in case Croc is nothing, you don't have to walk out. I'm a fan of this one. V2 over there with the turnaround animation, which again is another thing I hadn't seen. That's why, partially why I watch these things in the center to get through. It makes perfect sense, works everywhere else. I just never thought of doing it there. Though I got to learn because I tried it yesterday and didn't cooperate for me. We are not resetting already. Nice to have the knowledge early, right? So good call for Croc here as V2 picks up their book as well. I guess the question is, do you save again on this next save room? But I don't know. I think maybe you just pick your room and call it good. Up goes Kraid and down goes Kraid for V2Nitro. Green pendant in hand. Still up one crystal from Fantoon there. More, 300 more. Now the question of money is ancient history. Like, maybe. Stun prize, but ultimately we're going to let it go. No hate for the reserves. It's usually when you start seeing it, this number of tanks in a Varius suit. But everybody picking up that one after Kraid here today. See here, we see Ice Beam and Crumble Tower from V2Nitro. Yeah. Hydrapower may choose to do this here with a save, or may let it go. Just do it without the save. That's an option too. Let's see if any of this is worth it here in a second. Nope, not so much. So Hydra will have to walk out of this. So I like how runners have now on the second instance for tonight bringing a different route. Well, the opposite route really for two different loops in Super Metroid so far. On to Croc now. We'll pick up those slippers and probably also check the rest of it. So Hydra does not know about or have that mirror yet. We'll have to find something else to do. Looks like this will be that dip into desert. Or no, I thought I saw a 6 there, but no, this will be eastern. Maybe after this green pendant turn in. Blue's still out, might not be staying. If I remember right, big question mark, V2Nitro only did this check under the bridge. Did not get, you know, water walking to waterfall or visuals on the Zora ledge or anything like that, so we'll see that here. So the Light World flipper check's busting out here. Unfortunately, I'm sure, we're gonna need the flippers, but just not yet. Well, hold that for a minute. We'll see. We might. Haven't had that look at that Dark World yet. So imagine we'll be the wreck ship now for hydrapower. I was talking before about basically, evidence-based determination for a desire to go to the top of wreck ship. So here you're almost certainly going to see hydropower do it. You're going to wind up with that sword, and at that point we'll see, and I believe more than likely is going to go ahead and do the inside the top of the chip checks around the reserve area. And we'll see where that leaves V2Nitro once we determine what those are. V2 no doubt thankful for the abundance of energy tanks we've seen so far, not having collected the virus suit yet. Including, some of the tanks being in here, saving us a lot of farming with the full refill they give us in this game. But it's a bottle you turn into a sick kid to get the Varia suit. Didn't note that the first time. I just minorly entertained by it. So okay, never mind. It looked good. Hard to tell from here, but looks like, yeah, one missile short. I love when that happens. Hydra giving some an extra there. No blame. Definitely one of the easiest upper Norfair hell runs you're going to see. Those energy tanks spread out nicely. Good positioning on those. No to those. That's we picked that up. You're only missing 3 packs for the whole game. So power bomb's not a problem today. Hydra's going to save here, expecting this energy tank location to be nothing. Sometimes you just do it when you have a gravity suit instead of, you know, because you move fast. V2Nitro in a Tower of Hera. Hydra seeing the harsh piece and resetting here. There's only 2 items in here that don't have to do with the dungeon, but it could be good ones. There's a couple of locks requires to have to get in here. And we've been waiting for the next big thing here for a while. It's a fantastic time to use missiles to get through there, but Hydra wants to keep them for now. Or maybe it's one of those things where we all do it and it's not actually faster. I never looked. I just mimic people. It's kind of cute riding the... I don't know if there's a Rippers still with the platform on her head. Close enough. That, instead of just space jumping over the location. Might add an itch or something. Looks like yeah, hit the door or something. Had to pick up some speed again here to get across here in a reasonable frame of time. So stand by. See what V2Nitro passed up here. Zero lane in chat. Can't wall jump off those things when you need to because of them moving in the process. And you know what? I had it figured out. There's a couple of things in the randos I play. I had it figured out. It was free. And now, for the last month, I can't do it. I don't know. It's just funny stuff. So no pre-scouts, so we're gonna push through here to get up and check it out. Hopefully nothing spectacular, because Hydra can't get it either. So nothing we need. One more check to go. Hydra or V2 picking up that Varia suit feels a little bad, but yeah, again, I think did the hell running pretty smoothly. So not too much to worry about in that regard. Finding out nothing here on the inside of Rex ship at all. So unless V2, unless we're looking for something late, and V2 feels bad about it, probably not going to see him go back there, and it won't hurt him. Yeah, termed as a gift. Whenever somebody does something the other one doesn't, it ends up not being anything. It's just the way I like to look at it is it's a gift that you just make sure not to spend time unwrapping, because later on, like I say, it depends how much we're missing toward the end of the seed. I mean, there is a factor of resolve as well, as in you skip something and it just doesn't exist. So hopefully Nitro will adhere to that. As a play here from V2Nitro is going to be headed right back into Norfair, and having done already the upper part and getting nothing out of it, still has faith in the suit being available, so I was just going to push this thing down here and see what can we come up with. Thinking about it, I guess we don't have a ton of spectacular stuff left. I mean, you see Hydra doing Hyrule Castle here. This is always one of these things where there's a bunch of stuff in here, but it's spread out and it's early, and it's like, I feel like you want to do it as soon as you start playing, or you just don't. It's a nice use of the blue suit there to get through the fireballs from V2Nitro. I'm not worried about it for V2's sake, but I would not want to be down here with 3 tanks in a reserve on this loadout, just me. There's something to add to the loadout, not sure what it does, but... I have to get under 30 missiles. Thankfully, that's not too hard at this juncture. And then find the spot where the supers you fire don't land on you. Looks like V2 just about did it. Had to move to farm a little and took a hit, but I have faith. Guess it helps there's health mixed in there too. Couple of E-tanks. The best thing that's happened in the front of escape so far. Looks like that's all Hydra wants for the moment. Like a V2 had to kind of count out expenditure of missiles under 30 because of grapple farming. The super that was available was going to pick him up a couple of extras as well. It was off by one, but it was a nice fight. So I'm just going to check out the mire area now. Like to get in. No idea on that one yet, or any of them for that matter. But at least we know. Now, you don't often remember in here, I don't, but you could also pull that map check out and see what we really need to do. The wrong medallion under the doormat. Throwing off would-be burglars. Like the move from Nitro, you already have a shield. Any further lag is not going to be a thing, so pick up the red one. Might keep you alive and blind, who knows. Welcome on in, Crescents. It's a little toasty. Morph balls was like the first thing on the tracker we picked up, but you're not wrong. There's a little bit of jank going on in here, logically. It's another sword, which I missed because V2Nitro already picked that up. Unfriendly crab. Timed out just to get in your way. I think Hydra got maybe lagged just a bit. Dropped the bomb early. Still hoping to get the jump out of it with a nudge to the left, but no dice. Welcome on in, Crank. Good to see you. Want to know about Speed Booster? Just ask. Ask in about 10 seconds. 15. I just now realized that we didn't see Dragon from V2Nitro. I guess when I'm watching two screens, I'm not on top of the reasons that we would forego it for the moment, but Hydra may choose to do it. But again, V2Nitro, what we're doing here is just we call a hard Varia push. It's cleaning out all of Norfair at about an hour. At most of it's sub-hour. We're going to get this done in the next 6 to 7 minutes. Hopefully there's something down here. So what's left isn't fantastic. If Ridley's happening, actually, it just occurred to me that, well, I'm going to learn. Let's put it that way if Ridley happens, because this is not the way I'd want to do it. You fill up the supers, and we're going to need, what is it? I don't know. What am I missing here? Because we don't have enough, do we? Power bombs. I guess we can power bomb all day. That's all I can see. Not much fun, but this is the push V2 wants to make, and I can get behind it. Oh, he does. Okay. See, I wasn't. I remember where it was, and then I was thinking to myself, even so, it was somewhere that he hadn't been, but. Well, taking a few hits during the fight won't be a problem, at least that's the good news. Hydra. I was worried for a second there, because you pattern that wrong, you're going to get hit by one of them. And again, I should know the name of them, but kind of like fire fleas. And then you get knocked all the way back down the pant leg, and it's just not fun for anybody. So this is, yeah, the best start I think you can make the way that V2 is doing it here. You're going to use the low-powered stuff first. All of it. Might see a few power bomb drops before we get to the supers. V2, I'm sure, is counting as well. It's just unfortunate that I was hoping to see at least a small color change in Ridley to this point. Might have a little one there. Yeah, ice beam here for Shack Tool. You came this way, you might as well get it. So, not bad. What's that From Night do? Not going anywhere for a while. I'm drawing a blank. It's not Snickers, is it? That's something else. Oh, it's Snickers, okay. Yeah, Hydrapower vacating the area. I don't know if he's going to go back up and do Dragon. No? No, I guess not. I mean, we can get back in through Zelda if we have to. V2 finally emptying out the supers, so that went about as well as you can make it. Had faith in that as well, so good job to V2Nitro for a piece of heart. Just the prize that we had to come down here for. Okay, Hydra is going back. So I guess I thought what was going to happen here is Hydra was going to gate glitch the green gate and go through that way, but I guess, yeah, you probably want to keep a few of them and not have to farm them, so going around isn't too bad. Nice wall jumps there, avoiding all the spikes from V2Nitro to get up. I'm not that confident. Yeah, you know what, Crescent's with, if there's a consideration of lag in that room, that I don't know. I don't feel like there is, but if I turn my counter on, maybe I'll find it, because I've been at points where you're talking, but then again, I occasionally feel any gate. I fail any gate, given whatever day of the week it happens to be, so. But I mean, I don't know. There's water, and maybe there's a little lag from that and enemies or something. I don't know. So V2 got a couple checks left here, 2 more specifically. Let's hope for some. It's always the last one, the one underneath wave here, seems to be loaded. So here's hoping. Nothing. Well, it's out of the way. And just like the other part of Norfair, V2Nitro made it look good, so have to be happy, I think. Not thrilled, but happy. For a real early Varia suit, that's, you know, I mean, I guess it's Croc flippers, and that's about it. And then we saw that pushed from hydrapower, and there was nothing there either. So it's Swamp and Ice is all they can really mean now. How about that? Still no Dark World. We're working on it. We're getting there. Oh, we do have flippers. Okay, yeah. Not in a pleasant way we have Dark World with it, but... So here's what Hammer gives us. Magic Bat. I guess we also have the right side of the mountain. Probably a little more important. Will work out nicely for Hydropower once, well, yeah, it's if he chooses to go to lower Norfair before Tower of Hera, which that's probably not going to happen. And I only say that so that you can do that and then immediately head over. So V2 is going to follow Hydra in here, pick up that hammer, and then more than likely, I would say, make the call to do the right side of the mountain. You can do Magic Bat too. It's easy enough with the flute. Save and quit to the mountain. I'm just gonna skip on plasma and such, which I guess it's just plasma, and plus it's not even in logic. It's hard to do with the speed booster, but it takes a lot of time. Definitely a skip worth making. So the only thing you don't want to do here is die. That's bad. So we have better access in here. The good news is the mirror allows us a little bit of flexibility. Guess you want to pick up things like graveyard ledge on the way over, if we make it that far. So it might be factoring into the trip to the ferry here. You really don't want to die. Yeah, you check that super early, and I was watching something other than that at the time. I was like, oh, what did I miss? I hope it wasn't spectacular. Because I'll have been talking more nonsense than usual the whole time, but spring ball, that's okay. Saves you a little bit of time when it's easy in front of you like that. So map check here, we got pendants at Swamp and Ice, we got the red crystal at Pod, and we got Metroid tokens at Thieves, Mire, and Turtle Rock. Which I guess means, if I'm counting this... Oh no, we already have the fourth one on Eastern, so we can figure out... I'd say we would figure out Meridian, but I guess we already know what it is. I forgot. So we do know what we need to do now, at least. The Cane of Samaria salvaging hype cave there. Mushroom is in. So, not bad. To be honest, I didn't look at the Dragon Prize the first time. I was hoping somebody did. Yeah, okay. Because I totally looked at it and looked away twice now. But yeah, we could have got that through elimination too, I guess. Kraid. For the book, for the hook shot. Here at Bombo's tablet. Which, I guess not required so far. So we can hover to everything we need to do. Unless the back of Swamp has an item. Good boy, right? Also, I don't know who's hovering anyway, so... Good to have. I don't think V2 is going to miss that either. See, now you know what? It's that dash line right there for V2 that you hate to see, because have that happen, and he's undoubtedly not, yeah, letting us know what we figured. Not happy at all. And if this is heading to Ag to make up for it, I just feel bad. Oh, what did I jinx him with? He'll still end up down there for the huck shit. I mean, unless you just mean dying, in which case, yeah. I mean, it's just that dash line is such a bad spot. You hold the sword down, and heck, in 1991 they were accurate with their hurt boxes, and you just hit the guy in the face. What can you do? I feel like this is now going to be clean out the castle and then go to Aghanim. I mean, Hydra's still under that same knife, as it were. It's gonna have to keep this portal handy. Hope nothing goofy happens. So, yeah, if we could just get the Hinoxes and such to use high explosives instead of the low for their bombs, you could hit it with a sword and it wouldn't blow up. We wouldn't have to worry about all this. But... So there's a glove. You know, it's always fantastic when you find mitts in there. So you just add to that whenever it's the first set. So Hydra is now out of those woods that I suppose I will speak no further of. Damage done and all that. I'm just trying to think here now if Hydra had a way over here without the hook, and I'm guessing you don't. So that's funny how that routed out. Because unfortunately it is going to change my percentages on V2Nitro getting to the Bombos tablet. Might be hoping for the other glove or a glove from his perspective here on the other side of the mountain. That would be nice. Hydra says, you go in the hole and get out of my way. Always the best result for that one. Yeah, we do have that. Or no, that's the first we're seeing this. It must have just played a seed with the shovel there or something, because it was like, that looks familiar. So yeah, here's Hydra's trip in here now to Hera with the hammer, so easy set of options for Moldor, man, for getting across the mountain. Multiples of each. You see some Harapot setup or another. That one looks like I need to learn it, is what it looks like. Pretty nice and easy. Looks like 2 block lineups. So V2 does in fact get that glove. I do like to see it. Because, yeah, I don't believe in curses, but I do feel better since I do have the option of not pointing that kind of thing out. Anyway, V2 now gonna work around down in here. Do we have swamp available? No, it will. Hopefully. Hammerhead. There you go. That's Moldorm down for Hydra. Now be at 3 crystals. 3-0 out of the 7 and 4 we need today at an hour and a half. It's usually about when things start opening up as far as dungeon clearability, so hopefully that continues. So trip to Bomba's tablet, so that's also very good for V2Nitro, and I'd say we're back to close to even footing, I guess. Okay, so I made a clip once of me getting pushed out of the tablet, like, for whatever, I don't know what causes that, but I didn't go nearly that high. So something with your positioning, you get the tablet and you get pushed up the screen, like, I don't know. Haven't got that one explained to me yet. We'll see what this item ends up being. This will really solidify what we think the lead is, I think, if it's anything. So, it's out of the way. That's about it. And on to the right side. That shovel, Hydra picking up now. We just saw it says a heart container on V2. Wrapping that up here with SpeedGaming and such. So not, nice to have again, but I think we're done picking them up if we can help it. Still are on green mail, but 13, 14 is pretty good. Gonna say we're probably shortly gonna see some Village of Outcasts here from everybody. As Nitro heads that way. Hydra with the mitts now is going to be able to do a little more out here. Not the least of which is Hookshot Cave and such, but we're going to be able to get a check on this entry requirement here. This is good knowledge to have whenever you're up here, and it's otherwise not fun to get here. So it's a medallion that we know about, and that Hydra just doesn't have. Problem being, we can walk in a door and get a few things. Or, well, we would be able to. And, I was gonna say, both rods would be nice, but the fire rod gives us a lot more TR that, again, Hydra won't be able to do just now. So maybe you'll find the ice rod before he has to come back. Maybe. Because it's never in TR, you know? Hydra using a route here that we can do in SMZ3 with the guaranteed pinball room key. You can just drop down and do a loop. So Hydra wants Spike Cave while he's at it. Not a bad time for it. See what happens here. I guess it is probably out of logic until we see one of the invincibility items. But you always find it back whenever you don't want to come back here. Just seeing some morph ball bombs, so with all the power bombs we have plus spring ball, that's not going to really do us any good. So the mire info for Hydra and trip through desert and all that. Be able to knock out a few more prizes. Well, one for now. Let's see where this Quake ends up being. Can't be thrilled about the ether. So yeah, you know, that'll be in the back of his head for a little while, but like, oh gee, I wonder what's in TR, you know. Oh well. Yeah, we definitely gotta start knocking out some dungeons here. It's, you know, like I said, no matter what glove it is, here in King's Tomb, it's like, come on, man. V2 now finding those myths. But the way Hydra's doing this, I think I like is you get your you get that medallion info that you know you need, and you get desert out of the way, even if you have to come back. This means now we'll be able to, especially having been on a mountain, it's not all bad for hydropower. You get finish out Skull Woods and Thieves Town at the same time here. So it's a bow and an ice rod. That's all I'm aware of from Quake. That's 3. That should be it. Take supers here. I'm wondering too if this part of this is not sure on Hydra's count, but maybe wants to head to Lower Norfair now. And that's what it looks like, yeah. So. Okay, 45. I think we're good. I was going to say we'll do Golden Teresa later, so we're not stuck in a fight here and then having to farm supers afterward. I do kind of wonder. Okay, well, you're going to get a few, I guess. I was going to say because wave, space, or ice helps out with GT here, I want to say, sufficiently. But Hydra just going to pick up a few here. I did wonder if this, yeah, it might have been just saving the farm down in front of Ridley's door. It's a little faster to do it this way. That does vary depending on how many you need, and Hydra was in okay shape, but I don't mind doing it here. And plus, with Upper Norfair done already from both sides, Hydrapower is just gonna head to Ridley and then turn around, gate glitch, and at that point, I guess check out Golden Teresa. It might even do it with a saving the transition, so you didn't have to do the fight. Maybe. I did say he had spacer, clear as day. He does not. That was just me not looking and forgetting who picked up what. So. I'd say Spazer would push me over the edge for, you know, would I want to use my gun on Golden Teresa with the other beams in hand, but it's alright. The rest of Village of Outcasts here from V2. I will say I'm guilty of left-right bias here, just that moment, so I assume Thieves Town got done for V2. I wasn't counting here for Hydra. It's going to need at least to go down to 6 missiles if you didn't miss any, and it doesn't look like you did. Maybe 1. Or just want to be sure. That Ridley is having a moment. It does that sometimes. Screw attack here in purple chest. So nobody's getting that before lower Norfair. It's the nicest place to have it, but it's not like it's okay today. Everybody made it look pretty good. So V2Nitro up on the right side of the mountain now has both gloves and will be able to get into Thieves Town after he finds that fire rod out the front door. We'll see how far you go in there. I guess if you're going to go in, you do what you can do. See, number 1 best use of spring ball right there. Save yourself a little grief getting out of that Ridley tunnel there. So, and this is also a choice that I've made occasionally. You come in here, you go right to this compass chest, and you hope it's not a key, and you get kicked out. So that you can, or not a small key, I should say. So that works out for V2. So I would guess we'll get this fire rod and turn around. If that's a small key there, it's hard to say what happens at that point. Bit of a lag saver there, having a regular bomb to check that last location with. You do always get something out of them. So V2 opting not to go back into Thieves Town here. It's just going to stick with that front chest check. Or not Thieves, Turtle Rock. Some other T or another. Oh, this is one. Did we see this from Hydrapower? These late gloves, I can never be sure unless I notice. Either way, nothing much. This will be, okay, yeah, it's like the book's coming out, okay, but... There could be pod here for V2, and this has been available to both runners for a little while. Hydra wants his golden Teresa's, so check. Yeah, he didn't actually turn around and lava dive. I forgot to pay attention to that fact after finishing out lower Norfair. And we'll just take a trip to the ship as payment for that. It's not bad, I guess. Actually be a little more heads up than I thought, because you get your super refill here if nothing else. Trying to work out the odds that the bow's in one of these two dungeons. I don't think they're ever particularly good, but it has happened. Some armor for the trip to climb supers. That's okay. I think that solves any concern we may have had about health for the rest of the seed, for sure. The Thieves Town and Skullwoods are definitely too thick to let lay here any longer. V2Nitro is in the front here at least. I don't remember if the middle got done, but either way, we'll see the rest of it from hydrapower. The best room in a game to have a cane for. I'd even rank it above Meyer Basement, where you actually need it. You don't have to worry about statues at all. That's interesting. Both items out of the two possible that you can get in the front of pod were just right next to each other. I'm thinking V2 is walking out for... Did turn into green pendant, right? I think, but... Yeah, I couldn't think of what V2 was trying to do here, because I forgot he was, here, but not far enough, unfortunately. Seeing the supers does not care. That second favorite time of the night, right? With the ped there, but I definitely wasn't expecting much. So it's out. And I guess this also means that V2 had both items in the front of Skullwoods. I only saw one, so oops. But fourth sword there on Catfish. It's okay. It's always better than some things you could get, I guess. It's gonna pay the other fish here now. That one wants money. Hydra will have isolated Catfish, and in that regard, hopefully, chooses not to come back to it at any point. Couldn't remember if we saw that mushroom yet, but we did. So for hydrapower and V2 both having a lamp, not the biggest deal, but it's kind of like a force sword, I guess. We Swamp Palace proper for V2Nitro, and this is another one that, again, runners could have done a while ago. Now, I get pushing this off just because of the long optional checks that are in here. If you can do this in go mode or something close to it, that's ideal. But on the flip side, there's a bunch of actual items in here, 6. So. Yeah. I still think, what is it we're looking for? Still 3 things, right? And at that point, yeah, it's like you're saying, Crushins, it's just called the best option we got right now, so. That's why I give no blame for waiting on this a little bit. Yeah, I'm just kind of mentally marking down V2's choice not to go back into TR up there. It's defensible either way, but one of those things where if you're already up there, you gotta pay it some mind, I guess. I mean, if I'm looking for, you know, one thing in an ice rod, maybe I skip it for a little. But then again, some people would prioritize it at that point, I guess. So it's like it's just a choice, I guess, that you have to make. I just figured odds are good you find something in there. It's not an ice rod, oh well, but it's something else to complete a dungeon, and heck, that something else may even lock the ice rod. So we know we got something on the left side here. Does V2Nitro head back in for it? I am over 50% on doing that at this juncture in our situation. Definitely a little bit of a thought there, headed out to the staircase, but I don't think, yeah, when we're missing this much. A little bit of a wrap up while V2 pushes further into the remainder of Swamp Palace. For Hydra, it's just going to be collecting the screw attack and whatever was down here. I think it was just a 20. After which, what does Hydra have? I guess Pod and Eastern again. Not appetizing, but yeah, to be honest, I wasn't actually sure how many items were left here in Skullwoods, and there's 3, and none of which we need. And again, silver's nice, but not worth the trip. It's just, oh well. I would have been doing that here for sure. I guess it'd be hydrapower shovel, yeah, which again isn't anything either. V2's trip through Pod and Eastern didn't come up with much, so independent ice we go. Stuff's got to be somewhere. As expected, Hydra's going to head here first. You got your up to 8 items over your Ice Palace with 3, and it's like just as the Thing that makes sense. Want to see if V2 flips a switch and turns around or not. Okay, yeah. V2 doesn't have all the Zelda tricks, but this one is easier than Divergent, so it's a good thing for that. I meant to make that seamless. That's my fault. I forgot the pin has got a different music. We'll just pay attention to V2 for a little while, I figure. This was another one, and this is what dictated V2Nitro leaving pod, I guess, because we have bottles, but I don't think any of them are filled, which is one way to get through these mimics without a bow. Hydra, I don't know if he put anything in the bottle. He might. I think he did. See the one that bought the blue? Yep. So if you're holding left and you stop the game for some other reason than pausing here, so that's crystal switches if they happen to be convenient. Not. Potion, a couple other things that do it. The camera point doesn't stay in its one spot there in the next room. Just SNES things. The boss aside, Ice Palace still making us wait, either to get something or to see what we got to do next. Don't think V2 has checked pedestal either. Doesn't know it's nothing, so he's gonna pick up this pennant no matter what. Took a few snowballs there after the ice got melted. Got a save there to keep the puffs together for a little while with the poke, which works pretty much as well on a gold sword. So nice fight there, but nothing directly in here. And of course, we know pedestal isn't anything either. So that TR thing is starting to light itself up a little bit. Back to Super Metroid here now. I wonder if this is going to be the top of Rex ship again. I wonder. Nemi and chat, Ice Rod and Pet, I would love to be with you. I do. However, hydrapower already checked. It's just like bombs or something. It's like Crescens was saying earlier, it's a spicy one, just not for fun reasons. I wonder if there's a way to, if you run into one of them blobs, you can still pull off a spin jump and keep your spark there. Because I haven't done it yet. Yeah, I mean, Crescens, there was a, Friday at 8, right? There's a seat to play. As per expectation, is a tournament setting. I don't know if it fired or not. We had 2 of these races going on, and I just kind of felt like being here, I guess. But yeah, feeling bad is right, because both runners had an opportunity for different reasons to get into Turtle Rock. Hydro had not been to Mire first, which requires Quake, but had the Ether required for Turtle Rock, and then V2 just chose not to take Fire Rod back in. PR is just that way, I guess. For those of us who have gone through enough of these, it just is getting up there and going through there. It takes time. But sometimes that time is still less than you spend going elsewhere. Just a blue cane, it's like, yeah, it's not even going to keep the mail or anything. We don't care. That's a good choice. I think Hydra's headed for Catfish here. So yeah, if you've been with us for a little while, or I guess even if you haven't, this will cover you. This is Super Metroid Zelda 3, Link to the Past, combination randomizer. We got to find enough items in both games to defeat all the bosses, or at least the ones that have Golden 4 statue credits, so we can go beat Mother Brain, and then get 7 crystals to go beat Ganon. And depending on the seed, we can be going all over Timbuktu for single checks looking for stuff, and that's what we're doing right now, both runners. And here would be that wreck ship top again for V2. So why I mentioned it before, you're just afraid that seeds will end up this way. It seems to be more often than not, and skips just weigh real heavy on you. And then you add the fact that you don't know what your opponent has done and not done, and is there something to be said? Like, if your opponent, if you feel they have done stuff like this as well, then you're going to continue to skip this and look in even goofier places, if you can find any. But yeah, Hydra's still avoiding the pendant dips, and it's just like this trip back to bowling here for V2Nitro. It still could happen, but I think at this point the chances aren't likely, because I don't know what else there is besides TR here. I really don't. V2 wanted to get ahead of the one work robot. Good try, didn't happen. And a big key in the compass chest. We're going to have at least one small over here. Maybe just it'll be 2, and we're going to have to keep digging. But We'll see how quick. See how quick we get paid here. Hopefully, with interest. We've been waiting a while. Let's put it this way: V2's routing this in the best way. So whenever these things are nothing, you know, you're splitting the distance from the ship, and so I can appreciate that. Just reset to that. Yeah, plasma beam is now. Well, it's in logic with screw attack, which is in the goofiest place. Purple chest. Holy crap! That was a good brain rack there from you, Crushins, because I forgot. Now watch I get down here to be plasma. Is this a bumper ledge? Did we see this yet? I don't know. From V2. I guess it's back as skull was it? Got the fire rod this time. That makes more sense. I will say, you know, items in the front. This is bad. Well, it's not bad. It feels bad because this is like you're doing things that you know you're not going to get progression on. You just have to do, and you want progression bad. So it's just like, come on, let's just. You mean I have to do this? Kind of that way. But there's going to be a better time, and if I had to guess, part of the decision making here is looping in the ped check, which unfortunately isn't anything. There's one of them. You know he's staying. Especially since I get, well, you know, I don't know where we're at on Eastern Palace checks. Armus might have one. Somebody knows, but you got to stay here for this. Just a pool. We're not reading it. We're hoping. It's not happening. Sorry, Nitro. Thank you, Nitro, also. You know, I said if we had ice missiles, maybe we could turn the bombs into that or something. We do, yeah, a rando with a crafting system. Wouldn't that be fantastic? Don't actually do that. Then we could have map stations download things like in John Tread, the other one, Fusion. Not for V2Nitro, just gotta get him out of the ceiling, or whatever you call it. Looks like a ceiling. Just enough to get him done. Not happy with him. I mean, who is? But nonetheless, another crystal in hand. Where are we at? Counts look to be in 5. There's 1. Here at 215. Still missing 2 items from hydrapower and 3 from V2Nitro. Seed is seeding. But the odds are ever in the favor of Laser Bridge, even if you haven't, you know, scoured the rest of the game. So here's hoping. If it's in this last chest, the one you don't, you would never normally do last. No, okay. Wow, alright. Yeah, Hydra does have the bow. Like I said, I don't keep track of item counts that well. So, unless Armos Knights have something, which, you got to do it anyway. But Helmet might have some too, actually, come to think of it. I wasn't counting in there either. To be fair, I don't even have to count. I just need to learn how to look for map and compass. Count to 2, I guess. But guess I got a real problem with that. Still a little more cleaning up for V2Nitro. It's just gonna get some worms out of the dirt. Might even go fishing. I know it's not well, it is a fishing hat, but close enough. I'm glad you're here, Crushins. I can't read. Yep, the big bomb with this impending helmet kill being a 5/6 crystal. I was wondering if V2 had been to Shack Tool. It looks like that was the case as well. So it's just plasma if it's not, all of this. This is a Dark Cross. Or you already did it. I don't know who did it. Yeah, Hydra did Shack Tools. It was Ice Beam, so I actually remember that one. Let's see here, Helma. Okay, well, it's an item, but next. Yeah, saying V2 Nitro feels about the worst here. I'm in agreement, but I guess I'm also wondering if I'm extending that to hydrapower too. I'm not sure who wouldn't feel bad right now. Now, when you go to these checks and you find out they're nothing, you do feel a little better, I think, in a way. I am with you, though, in that a lot of times if I'm watching your comms or whatever, I'm like, maybe it's just because I'm by myself, I'm like, normally okay, this is kind of funny, but this got way past funny at this point. Okay, fine. Definitely seen that before. And we're still missing something. And based on what I've seen in TR, I am very sure that we got an item on Trinex too. And up the mountain and down the mountain and up the mountain and down and up again. Get your quake. You gotta go back down. Well, no, I guess you don't. For one thing, if it's quake, okay, on Trinex, at least Myers not a crystal. You can go do GT. Yeah, I think still ignoring Big Bomb, but I think the play here is just has to do, I think, with the way things have shooken out. Shooken, that's a word. V2 looks like it's headed for plasma. If it's Quake, we have a race. I just know where this thing can be is going to be fun. Yeah, I mean, the seed's been sloggy. Maybe it's just up here. Maybe our opponent did all this with Ice Rod already and was just really cool about it. I mean, well, I guess he couldn't because the bow is in here, but maybe just want to be done. Maybe that's all it is. That and the fact that you can run a GT after this. You don't have to look for anything in there. Field rules prevent anything from being in there that locks a boss token. So just get our big key and go, and you don't have to come back up here again. So I was starting to say before that we could have an instance of 4 trips up the mountain here today, but we're at least spared from that one. Plasma, nothing. Does V2 have something else to do? Or does he just not want to go back to the ship at this point? See, Ice Beam went away, so maybe he doesn't in fact have it. So that would explain that. He will, though. Just like the bombs in Spike Cave you got not long ago, be one of those, oh, it's a unique item. Cool. We wanted that. For sure. Chronix for hydrapower, gold sword. This should be incredibly fast. I will say that's usually where I like to switch to hook so I can hook dash out of here on the way out. You probably do it while the whatever's falling. I think it's a crystal. Or no, this is a Metroid prize, isn't it? Yeah, so this is just on the way to GT is what this one is. If you have gold sword or some tempered sword strat that gives you the ability to switch while head number 2 is blowing up, then saves you a little bit of finger waggling on the way out. Not sure what it does ultimately. I guess probably about a second, but just out of morbid curiosity, I'm wondering if V2Nitro skipped any E-tanks, and we've actually seen them all. Guess if I see one on GT here, we'll know. Oh, and I guess if anybody wants to guess, he can, but I don't know. We're doing that. We were doing that. I forgot. Number 13 on the big key. As lucky as the rest of the seat has been. So that's, I think, all we need to take out of that. Oh yeah, you know what, Cressens, yeah, I guess I thought maybe the trip back here was with the bow, and Nitro still doesn't have it, unfortunately, so yeah. BMOs for hydrapower, like, they're just nice people. They're giving you arrows. They're saying, take them. That's all. They don't know their own strength, I guess. It's one of those. V2 is, I think, just baffled a little right now, and I wouldn't say it's a tracking thing, because even with it at this point, it's just understandable. If that were the case, but it looks like it's drilled it down to TR here. Yeah, if an ice rod isn't in TR and something that locks it is, that's still an ice rod in TR. I mean, you can just about guarantee it most of the time, unless you find it in the first half an hour. I feel. I'm still taking ideas on Quake, because I don't run my own tracker in here, even though I probably could. but I'm lost. Yeah, pyramid. I'm gonna guess any box openings here is gonna have to do with potential cape or something, just in case, and Ganon will be super easy at that point. Plasma, maybe. Asking about X-ray done, that was actually pretty easily achievable with space jump, so they did get that on different routes, but yeah, just something, I don't know what was in there. That last pattern, the easy thing to do would be to line up right alongside all of them, or parallel, I mean. But I think Hydra was afraid he's going to catch a blue ball there. I wanted to try and pull off something else. Either way, no more Agatu. I will say, I do occasionally get to doing Mother Brain outside of Go mode sometimes. I don't often see it happen for Ganon. But here we are. Early G's in about a minute or two. V2 with the bow now and letting us know about that as well. Unfortunately, when it happens multiple times in a seed, you really can't take any pleasure from that. Oh. Hydra was never in there. Well, it works out for him. I was like, oh. If I remember, I don't want to say we had the full package with that hook shot at Bombos, in which case that is a real piece of mental fortitude to stay out of swamp there. I know there are other things to do, but it's just right there. So that's it. Geez, for hydrapower, still gonna have to collect his other one here. It's gonna take some doing though. We gotta. Looks like probably save and quit and go grab a red bomb from what we've been able to drill down to here. I guess a mirror will do it. Yeah, I did something. Was that my tournament? I don't remember. Something I did. While I was in there, there were pointers to get in there like there was here. You had the package. It was early, and I just was like, yeah. And there were 2 required items in there, so. think I actually skipped left side for that too and still got the 2 items out of it. I never do that either, Crescent, so, you know. And V2, of course. I guess, yeah, I forgot about the ice rod still being outstanding, and we know where it is, but you're gonna obviously stay in here when you don't know that. It's one of those instances where, again, if you don't find the ice rod here in TR after you pushed it, finding one progression item, you feel a little better. A little. You have to take what you can get, and second chest, of course, there it is, go mode at 237. And that is definitely the highest score for restream that I've done in a while. No fault of the runners, though. I don't think there's a check left in the game. I mean, for each runner there is, but yeah, wow. I guess one question we'll have here is V2 is gonna, and I'm just gonna say this, and that'll be the end of it. Second time he's mirrored to go to Eastern first, and you got to mirror back, and then go to pod and mirror again to flute out. So I don't know on that one, but I will always assume, and usually rightfully so, that there's something I haven't thought of. Regardless, we'll find the ice rod a little sooner. So you get to have that. But the question I was going to say was like, well, does V2Nitro go for the big bomb here instead of just go straight up to TR? You'd probably be feeling just like hydrapower did, and may just want to push that thing and hope it's there, but I would say that even if V2 does that, it won't be enough in this race. Hydra, for his part, is just hoping for a big key that isn't completely stupid. And we do take lobby chests. I was hoping for that. I got that not long ago in go mode, so that's acceptable. Armrest down for V2 and his ice rod in hand. Another little something to show for it. Spooky intact there, so gonna be able to get the switches here with the misplaced splash damage there, however that works. I've read about it 4 times, and I guess can't remember when it comes time to try to do it, so. Silvers are, oh no, we don't have silvers, Hydra doesn't, but that's a good way to do it. You have the health. Just get in there and cut them all down. So here's the thing. Save and quit. You must save and quit. Keep your token. Now, hold the 4 buttons and go to Metroid. Just in case anybody was wondering what that meant, Ganon, if you beat Ganon or the brain, you know, the brain's less of a thing because you save when you transition anyway, but Ganon defeat saves in the save file, just nothing else does. For whatever reason it was done that way, so if you are confident that you didn't collect anything else between whatever your last save in Zelda was and a Ganon kill, you can just 4-button reset after you're on the pyramid. You don't see it happen much. I don't want to risk it, so... Oh, the Nitro. Yeah, it gets all the way down there without the key. That's... I know I say this all the time, and it's not just trying to sound nice. I definitely do this kind of thing, especially in Go mode. Or, well, something close to it. And, yeah, actually thinking about it, it would have been before I figured out potion camera unlock or any of that other mimic stuff. Because once you're in here twice, you figure you've done all this. It's an easy mental thing to do. Yeah, like Crescents, you're saying. Once you're in there, it's like, well, he must have done, you know, everything but the boss, because that's usually what happens. Let's put it this way, evidence I'm telling the truth is I didn't point it out before you got down there. So Nitro Hydra's gonna use a frozen Rinka here. Actually got inside that Zeb first and got knocked out, but was able to recover before the thing unfroze, so that's good. I know I'm usually redoing it. The 60 supers are the equivalent, which can include 3 regular missiles for every super you fire. I actually didn't catch how many you started with, but a couple of beam shots are an option too. They're not great, but they're there. I doubt we'll see them here. Yeah, you got all the ammo. Makes sense with the Zeb skip, I guess. So. Yeah, I think that's good. We're gonna get down under 3 tanks so we don't have to sit through multiple rainbow beams. Stand up isn't really the greatest thing to do here whenever you're missing full beam damage, so this is fine. Also because I don't want to do it, I'm afraid, because of the soft lock stuff. To Turtle Rock. Again goes V2Nitro. Now the cool part, you know, it doesn't feel like that. I think climbing the mountain almost takes just about as long as going through the dungeon after you've already done it, / you have all your keys and doors open. I think it only takes like 90 seconds to get down here. So just something to consider in case, you know, you're in this situation when you're running a seed and you feel bad. Phase 3 for Hydra here. I forgot the number of shots this takes, 30 something, but as long as you stay close, cut the lag down, and hit most of them, it's no big deal here, really. Fire Road is your best friend against Pokies there. Even if that sends one of their segments hurtling across the room a few times. I think Hydra got the spin jump here to get through, or no. I was actually wondering, it doesn't have high jump, and I can see that, but I'm trying to remember where they were, because I thought it was like right after something else that we collected, necessarily. Just kind of throws off one of the strats in that room. No big deal, though. Or maybe he does have it, I don't know. It didn't look like the jump was very high there. At any rate, pending some goofball animal saves, which, yeah, we ain't seeing that today for sure. GG's. Get him in for Hydrapower. Finishing with a time of 2:50.18 here on race time. And V2Nitro sees it and probably been watching, because see, like this, you're gonna, and just is gonna wrap it up here for the day. GG's to V2Nitro as well. See if we want to, anybody wants to yell at me for anything that I might have said here in a minute. Chat, you can tell them what I did. Yeah, this will move. I want to say this will move Hydrapower to 2-0, V2Nitro to 1-1 ahead of week 3. This will be next Tuesday. Got a lot of matchups to go. Oh, was it the snap dryer? I thought it was the that thing at the pyramid. I thought it was the what is it? Moblin, I guess. But either way, sometimes you can run along that line and do just fine. So it's like. So yeah, we'll be talking to Hydra here in just a minute. It's gonna probably take a leak or something. That's the usual number one thing you do after an SMZ3. We got our winner here, hydrapower 78. Or just hydrapower. GG's. Welcome.
GG. Thank you so much.
So, I bet you I don't need to prompt you too much on this one. I'm sure there's something you can complain about, huh?
Well, so let me start off by saying I forgot to turn the Varia suit back on at the end. I was not intentionally popping reserve tanks for the Rainbow Beam.
Oh, you know what? I took my eye off it. I saw you go to 3 tanks. I saw you had at least a suit on. I was like, okay, but I didn't catch it. So.
Oh no, yeah. I had the oh no moment as she was winding up, and then I got saved somehow. But I literally like never forget that. But somehow in the tournament setting, I have forgotten how to do that. So bailed out, thankfully. So I'll just start off with that. that was an awkward moment.
Yeah, I totally missed it. I guess I was just trying to follow. But did you end up turning it back on, or did you have 3 reserves then?
I had the 3 reserve tanks, but if I didn't, I would have died, and that would have been super bad. But thankfully, it worked out okay this time. But yeah, that was a monumentally trolly seed. I had found the first glove, my first glove, in Kingstoon. Mm-hmm. And I was hoping like that was like the actual like first glove, but I saw that you could get, if you were willing to not do the Dark World Meridia access point, you could have got your first glove after obtaining the hammer, like if you just left, you know. And so I kind of was annoyed that that was there because I'm like, no, I wanted the glove to be like the really complicated thing that I did. So because you had to make sure you had enough for the Bombos tablet to get the hook shot and then run back to the other side of the world to, you know, hook across, and then you get your glove. And I was like, come on, let's do it. So, but
yeah, so V2 did it the other way, and so of course we had 2 moments of like, well, any glove in Kingstoon feels bad, or at least feels dumb.
Yeah, I mean the normal mitts there is, you know, kind of an awkward last location a lot of the time, but it didn't even occur to me that it could be a Dark World Meridia seed until I was like, you know, in Dragon, and I'm like, wait a minute, I should probably just like get out of here and do stuff, because I have the, you know, the logical thing is the flippers. I mean, if I didn't have the flippers, I would fake flipper to go do stuff. But you know, once the hammer became available, then it was like, oh well, now you got more stuff to do except this, you know, bolus pod, and so that seems like a reasonable play. I was like, I'm really not sure I want to do Pendant Swamp here though, and I was hoping that with, you know, Light World Death Mountain, Norfair, and whatever else, that I would find another glove and not be forced to do that, because that's kind of dumb.
Yeah, it worked out for you. There's silvers in there, left side no less. But
so like, well, okay, so now there's 5 items in there instead of 6 that I'm looking for this Quake medallion. So thanks, Gannon. But yeah, the ice rod was so dumb at that point because, or, you know, before that point, because it's like, okay, I've got 3 incomplete dungeons and 2 pendant dungeons. Where do you go? And so I picked the sequence break of pod because, you know, maybe you don't find your bow, but maybe you find your ice rod or your Quake medallion, and you can ascertain something about the bow at that point. But that didn't work out, and then immediately found it after I'd, you know, gone through the 2 bow dungeons. So I was like, Urgh. And so then when I got the ice rod from the Armos Knights, I'm like, really, dude, do I really should just go back for like the 1 item, you know, always be clearing dungeons? But then I immediately realized that I could also do GGT at the time because I had 7 crystals. So like, okay, that makes it worthwhile. Otherwise, it's like a really bad choice, you know, like go back for 1 item or don't, find a bunch of...
It actually took me a while to count because not often you use your 7 crystals and still be missing 2 boss tokens at the time,
Right.
so that worked out well.
Yeah, it was a... I'm glad I remembered, because you don't think about that kind of thing most of the time, and as I was fluting there, I'm like, oh yeah, wait, I can do this too, and so that made it worthwhile. Obviously, the Quake Medallion could not be in GT due to the logic locks there, but might as well get it done while you're there.
Yeah, it's the longest dungeon to get to, so yeah, it's a routing I like to see when be able to take and make use of it when it happens for sure. But V2, going back to the glove, V2 would have, I'll just tell you, would have probably got that one first as well. However, that dash line to get to the pyramid to check the item there got run into by a moblin on less than 2 hearts. So,
oh, super bad.
Yeah, and that was with the dark or the Meridia access. But found that other glove, first, and felt good about that. So that was good. But yeah, did go into swamp, did go into ice. All choices which in a different day would have worked out, right?
Absolutely, yeah. So I when I saw where the Quake Medallion was, I'm like, okay, that's an out for me there. I think that gives me a good chance, because you just kind of feel bad there. And I know V2 is new to Zelda, but he's also an elite Super Metroid player, and I've been playing this for 5 years, and I'm still just average. So I knew I was giving up a lot of time to him there, and so I'm sitting here hoping my Link to the Past experience advantage can at least carry me through here. And so once I saw how trolly it was, I'm like, I don't know how much he's encountered this kind of stuff. And I also, once I avoided the 2 pendant dungeons, even though I made the bolus dip there, once I avoided those 2, I'm like, okay, that saves me a lot of time, and maybe that's enough. So
yeah, I was doing something comms or tracking for V2 not long ago, so just this last week of Swiss, and it's the same point I'd make then. It was where you have one side heavy on Zelda 3 and the other side heavy on SM, and for that reason it made a good match. I mean, just a bunch of things that didn't work out here on the rando side of things for V2. Otherwise it was fun to watch. So
cool. Well, I'll have to definitely watch it back. So thank you very much for your comms tonight, and thank you, Diomedes, for your tracking as always. And yeah, we'll see you guys next mission, maybe next week.
Yep. So thank you, and if you're here, V2, or around or catch us later, thank you as well for putting on this race. Appreciate it as well. A lot of things I learned from watching people, so
yeah, thank you for that. Okay, we'll see you guys later. Take care.
Yep. So tomorrow we have one match at 9 o'clock. Sky versus that SGIB. If there's a better way to say that, I apologize. We're going to try to see about getting a channel for that. Or wait, that was tonight. That was already going on there. Sorry, never mind. Okay, so never mind. Saturday is loaded. 10 a.m., 11:30, 1, 2, 3, 3:30, 8, 9. All with tournament matches, same format. Again, some of them we'll see if we can get on. Hopefully we'll target 2 and go from there. But other than that, if anybody wants to play, I don't know. Some people here might feel like there's going to be, what's there going to be? There's going to be a race at 6 o'clock. It's just basically this without boots and no score, no pressure, no nothing. Just something to do. If anybody's feeling like getting into it, I wanted to point that out because we have a community member that runs that thing, and it's just chill. So 6 o'clock Eastern on that one. And yeah, we'll leave it at that for now. But again, to Diomedes, thank you for helping me out with this, and to the runners as well as SpeedGaming. So we'll wrap it up here for the night. Have a good one. See you next mission.